Hello, hello to anyone who pops in. This is sort of an odd midweek stream, but I wanted to do a little show and tell of some of the gear that I'd picked up recently. But I think we can at least lead off while people pop in and talk about maybe a craft project, and then I'll just get started with the gear. It's kind of an interesting story. Let me just swap over to my desk. There we go. Um, so had made a little lip balm holder thing, and you can see the video on my channel that came out yesterday, and a whole bunch of folks liked it, including a friend of mine who was really into aliens. And I remembered that I had all this Rabbit Hole Designs Galaxy paper left over, and it's pretty cool stuff. And it looked very sort of alienish to me. And I do definitely have black cardstock or purple or other kind of spacey colors. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see me. Let me just get rid of that bottom border. There we go. That's a little bit better. Anywho, so I had that, and then I also had this Sweet Sentiment alien set of stamps that I have never used. So I thought I would probably try those out and make a little something like that. I also wound up. Oh, here it is. I picked up a pack of the the chapstick lip balm in the summer colors. So, or I guess I should say, I don't know if they're flavors or fragrances. I don't know what's more. I guess flavors, but it's got a pink lemonade and a watermelon and a pineapple. I think. Anyway, that's probably. I may craft that later this evening. Hello, Miss Southern Belle. Hello, Heather. How are you? Nice to see you guys today. Um, anyway, so that might be my next project. I don't know. I need to pull up the measurements for it because it's kind of fun to put together. But since some folks are here, most of the point of this stream was that one of my family members was like super generous and offered to help me upgrade some of my streaming gear. And basically, I've been using probably what everybody else does when they start, which is basically my cell phone. Um, that's what's actually filming the desk right here. And you can see it's a pretty decent camera. And really, if you do upgrade your cell phone and you do streaming stuff, like hang on to your old one because you can just hook it up as a USB webcam, basically. If you want to, oh, hey, Ron, nice to see you. I mean, if you guys like, if you want to have multiple camera angles or whatnot. So basically, there were a couple different angles I wanted to hit. And I guess before I get started, and this is kind of what I bought show and tell. And basically, there were three things I kind of wanted to address. Um, the first one being audio, which is coming through a gaming headset, which is not great. I would definitely like a dedicated mic, and now I have one. But also video, and then I called it flow, but just sort of like stream automation, basically, easier shortcut keys. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting because, like, when you move from using your phone to anything beyond that, like, really what you're paying for are more knobs and dials and bells and whistles, but like, it doesn't necessarily it doesn't raise the quality of the end product that much. It's more like you have more fun with it. So it's really interesting if you're interested in this topic at all. Like, there are a bunch of really cool comparison videos on YouTube to basically say, like, hey, you could buy this thing or you could buy that thing, but I notice more if people are engaging. Oh, and this is totally off topic, but I got my panda t-shirt this week, so I figured I'd wear that today. Anyway, so so I was looking for I was looking for a reasonable mid range, just as opposed to like just doing super entry level, because I found with when I was interested in guitars, basically that if you go a little more mid range, like then you at least have the option to get your money out of it if you have to at some point. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you, Ron. I mean, I think the thing is, for me and everybody else, and I have a nicer camera than my phone. Where does it sit? It sits at home because like I need to bring a battery for it and then have all the things and then carry it somehow. And it's like your phone is just with you all the time. So, I mean, if nothing else, if I convey nothing else with this unboxing, it's like your phone is great. Feel free to use your phone. Um, most of the upgrading your stuff is really more if you want to have more features, but that doesn't necessarily make it any better. I mean, the nice thing about phones or going live on your phone is like there's not a lot of options, right? Like that's sort of a benefit too in the like, hey, I'm just gonna go and do the thing. I think Jamie from Not Too Shabby does all of her lives using her cell phone as her desk cam, and I think it works great, and I think people are whether you're interesting or not doesn't matter how expensive your camera is. So just I wanted to talk about that up front because it's sort of like I wanted to upgrade stuff, but I have no idea if this is actually going to make anything better. So hooray, we can do a follow-up video or a stream or something in the future just to sort of see that. But anyway, so let's talk about audio. And basically, there are a lot of mics on the market. Primarily, you're going to make a decision between if you want a USB microphone or, I guess I should say, audio is really complicated and I don't understand a lot of it. But uh, a friend of mine, hey, Delise, how are you? Well, I guess since you're your friend, Steven, who runs all the tech stuff for Craft Roulette, was very helpful on their patron chat, explaining what things I should probably look at and the stuff to avoid. And really, the thing to me is like, you don't want to spend a bajillion dollars up front. And the mic they use is basically a broadcast mic, and that's like a broadcast or podcast mic is basically what I was interested in because I was really only interested in capturing my voice. And you can either buy a USB one that'll plug into your computer or hey, hello everybody. Yeah. No, you can buy USB ones that plug into your computer, or you can buy XLR ones, which then require an interface before it connects to your computer. But like the signal is analog longer, so I think it's better for processing. The mic I got, I guess I should just show you what I got before we get too far into this. Was the Shure MV7 was the one I ultimately went with. Um, basically, and I guess I could take this stuff out of the box. I think I said this was an unboxing, so I might as well actually unbox something. But it definitely needs a stand, which I got. And whoops, let's see what we get in the box. In the box. That's cute. It says welcome to better sound on the box. We'll see. The other thing with all this stuff is like it requires actual software to a certain degree. And I mostly wanted to just give you a sense of like how big these things are. Hi, this is my hand. I have short fingers, but the mics are fairly big. I mean, this one is, well, let's get it out of here. So it's got the fuzzy end on one side and the not fuzzy end on the other. So this one has this has USB out and it also has XLR out. So if I ever want to go XLR, I can. This thing is relatively heavy and definitely like a mic you need to stand for. And there's a lot of box here for, yeah, there's a lot of literature that I won't read on camera, but there's also some relatively long USB cables to sort of if you wanted to start from there. So that's kind of the option I went. The mic's in kind of the $150 range, although like you probably need a stand that is halfway decent. So it's still kind of pricey. And I don't know, like I'm going to be really interested. Obviously, everybody has all these demos about how everything sounds better with their stuff, so it'll be very intriguing to see how it goes. Yes, I got the stand, Elise. It's just not uh, here at the moment. But it's a very large stand. It's funny, they sent it in like like a super huge box, and then the stand is like, the box for the stand is like this big and then really long. But anyway, I'll have to do some sort of once I get it set up thing. The other thing to go with this that a lot of people seem to recommend was a nondescript box, but this is a replacement foam basically. Whoa, that didn't open very. Did I not? Oh, I opened this wrong. Anyway, it's a slightly better foam piece that folks thought would help. So I picked one up because they were like $10. So I'm curious to see if I wasted my money. Basically, hello, Deb. How are you? I haven't. I like the size of it. The way I have a really big desk that was essentially so. Like the long story is, my desk is made out of a reclaimed barn door. So the desk is like it's like a very tall coffee table, but it's also pretty huge. So I should be able to clamp not directly to the desk, but to something next to it. So um, I I like the look of it, but we won't know until we try it out and see how it sounds. But I'm very curious if I like get it and say, "Gee, this headset's a lot easier than like dealing with it." I am mostly excited. Unfortunately, being a crafty person, I'm mostly excited if I can like dress the mic up to make it look like a red panda. I think chatting with people, red panda won sort of the what could we make the mic look like. But anyway, let me just catch up on chat. Yeah. See, I agree with that too. It was very so the long story is it was very surprising that someone reached out in my family and was like, "Well," because I had mentioned I was saving up money to do a gear upgrade, and they were like, "Well, we'd like to help you out with that." So, I mean, I feel very blessed. I think it's always fun to get new stuff. Um, I'll say the intermediate tier is very user friendly, generally speaking, because it's for people who haven't like done this professionally. Um, so the other thing I picked up was I got a slightly better face cam. So I picked up this Logitech one, which I liked because it clips and unclips. So if I want to move it around, that will be pretty easy. Um, it does also come with its own software, so in theory, you can do some processing of the signal before it gets to StreamYard. So we'll see how that works out. I don't know. Like anything else, I think if I have more fun and play with the gear and enjoy it, it'll be great. Hi, Brian. How are you? But I mean, I don't know. It's sort of like it's I'm not sure how I feel about the learning curve because I'm sure there'll be learning curves with everything. Um, this thing I've liked the look of this for a while just because the webcam I have is not good and flakes out as we've seen during streams every so often, which is not super great. But this guy is well, I can actually unclip. I won't try and unclip it. Anyway, so this one's pretty small, but basically you can. I am. I want to play with it a little bit, but basically you can. Oh, here we go. So you can unclip it from the clip, and it's as you can see not exactly square. So if the writing is the right side up like that, it'll shoot in portrait, and if it's on the side, it'll shoot in landscape, which will be nice because I occasionally do shorts, which I mostly do with my phone, but it would be neat to just have a dedicated webcam that could do that. Because like usually, um, the way my desk webcam works, I can't really rotate it like that and have it actually work. So hopefully that'll work out well. Yeah, yeah, I'm curious to see if like all this stuff, it's sort of like there's so much marketing material and there's so much information on YouTube from people who are sort of on like the PR lists of companies. I'm always like, I don't know exactly. It'll be interesting to see how much fun I have with it. I mean, I think I'm going to enjoy it because it like as we kind of let off with, it's like, well, it gives you more options, but that's pretty much it. And then for the whole because I wanted buttons and to be feel like a real streamer, I did pick up a Stream Deck as well, which is let me see here. So, and I got the one with the dials. But basically, this is if you so the way I've been trying to I explain this well to my parents is if any you guys are you may be far too young, but if you were around in like the early 2000s, late 90s when you started seeing like all the mice and keyboards with like the really weird function keys on them, which I guess is really a throwback to like mainframes where like the function keys change for whatever program you happen to be in. Um, basically, this is that, except it has cute little LCD screens and knobs and buttons that you can click. So um, it it effectively automates a lot of the shortcut stuff. Yeah, I don't know. So this is a whole story too, and I never wanted a face camera. I was like, I just want to be hands on the desk, and that's fine. And then I watched Debbie J's stream and I was like, I really like seeing your face. And then I did that interview with Lynn and it was just shot all of my face all the time. But I don't know, like I like this kind of a format where you're kind of down in the corner. My dad watches a lot of art YouTubers and also suggested like to make one where you're like really itty bitty, where like if you just really want to focus on, I should make this full screen. But anyway, it makes more sense when the audio video thing isn't there. But anyway, I like this one, but I like the little one if you want to like really show what technique you're doing. Um, but those were the three-ish pieces of gear I picked up very recently. So it's going to be interesting. It's funny because a lot of people provide the tip that like you should really practice using all the stuff before you do it live. We'll see. We'll see if I am disciplined enough to do that. I probably will, but I feel like I'll have one of those older family members trying to figure out how to program the VCR moments on stream at some point. Uh, you're just like trying to do something and it turns into an absolute mess. Yes, I do. I use StreamYard primarily. And I haven't done a stream with other people yet, but always open to that if anyone wants to do that. Um, but so StreamYard, I would say, of the platforms, is the easiest to sort of get into. I mean, Restream was pretty user friendly too. OBS I looked at a bit, and like it's more complicated, but I'm sure it's one of those things. Once you figure it out, you figure it out. Hello, Annie. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I believe Annie is streaming in about half an hour as well. If you guys want to see a crafting stream, um, but I think that's pretty much most of what I had to say. I mean, I'm just really going to be intrigued to see how things go. Yeah, I think it's a time commitment, but it's also like you could I mean, I think like a lot of things, right? It's like you could invest a lot of your time to get it to work, and then whether or not the end result would be massively different is always kind of curiosity to me. Oh, that's fine. It's mostly like I bought a bunch of stuff and some of it might actually work and be helpful and some of it might be like, now I have a button that does something, but I could have done that differently. I let's Yes. So I think that's my takeaway actually, Delise, is that it's a lot easier to either run the stream or not run the stream or be on panel or be crafting or whatever, right? I think that it's definitely say for me, like it's a learning experience to how you can kind of jump back and forth. Um Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like technically challenging. Who was it? Think it was Ken Hess who at one point had provided the advice that the pro or con to being live is you're basically exactly who you are in real life. So like you have less ability to sort of edit you into however you want to appear. Um, but I mean, I think that like I mean, it's for better or worse, it's kind of like broadcast TV or live music. It's like stuff's gonna go wrong. So I mean, in a sense, it's almost like you know, oh hello, creating with Tuck. I don't think I know you, but it is nice to meet you. Oh, do you like? Tell me, do you like OBS, Annie? I've heard a lot of good things. I downloaded it at one point and played around with it, and it realized it looked complicated enough where I would probably have to like, I don't know, invest some time in learning how to use it, and I just haven't done that yet. Yeah, I've been pretty good at like leaving the audio on my phone when I'm using it to shoot the desk like this, and then like you have this like awful reverb until you figure it out. Oh well, nice to meet you. Welcome. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's an interesting. The live aspect is interesting in a lot of ways. So I don't know. It's going to be cool. I don't know. I'm sure it'll take me a while to get things on board, but it is going to be. I don't know. I feel like this is all of this is just a really fun experiment in a lot of ways. So it is what it is, and I mean, it's always fun to learn new things. I think. But anyway, I will probably jump on any stream at 7. So, but because I do have a couple projects I want to work on, but I don't know. Other than that, I don't think I have anything too major coming up this week. There's some Instagram stuff happen. There's an Instagram hop on I think Saturday or Sunday. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I've heard good things about the clip-on microphones. Who was it? One of my friends who's a YouTuber was kind of like they're a little trickier to get set up because obviously you're kind of like wearing them on you. So like where something on a stand is gonna always be in the same position. Like they can be kind of funky. But I mean, you have a lot more freedom of movement. I mean, the issue with like a stationary mic is you're either like in range or you're not. Sunday, are you doing things Sunday? Oh yes, Lynn is doing a live stream on Saturday for Kendra's Card Challenge. Um, but I don't know. It's like Lynn does a live stream every Saturday, so it's just I don't know. It's almost I don't know. Like I love live streamers that have a slot because it's like then it's just like TV, and I know that like you can just show up and have a good time. Oh yeah, I bet. I mean, I've seen people doing interviews with those, and it's always been kind of interesting. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern, so that's in about 30 minutes ish, give or take. Um, but anyway, I want to thank everyone for coming. If you have more questions, I may do some follow ups to this once the gear's installed, and maybe we can look at some of the original live streams and then the new ones and see if there's any like actual audio quality changes or whatnot. But it'll be interesting, and I know that I'll at least have fun playing with all the things, and you know, hopefully it won't be massively massively weird. But I don't know. I think it'll make the experience a lot funner. And I think my new webcam can actually zoom, so if I can somehow control that, that would be cool. Because I know that, like, crafting when you're at, like, a specific distance, sometimes it gets a little bit weird because it's sort of like you might wanna zoom in to see the detail on something, like, if I don't know. If I have, like, a stamp like this on my desk, like, you can't really see fine detail unless you do this, but anywho, um, I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day, week, evening, or whatever until I see you guys again. Have a great one and talk to you later.